Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm up here at Highwest Distillery in Utah, and I'm gonna be doing the tour as well as some tastings of some bourbons that they no longer sell. And look, it's gonna be a good time. I'll take you guys through it, show you what I can, and hopefully you all enjoy it. Alright, let's get to it.
Follow me just up these stairs so I can start talking to you about step 1 of 6 of making this.
We're doing the tour now at Highwest. They're taking us through piece by piece, and then we're gonna go back and do some more tasting. But yeah, let me turn you guys around and take you through the tour here. Okay, now we're heading over to the big distillery thing they call Agnes thing. You know what it's called. Let's check it out. Here we go. Store everything and like the bottling area, and let me turn you guys around and take a look. Okay, that concludes the tour. We're gonna go in and do some tasting now. Here we go.
Going over here next.
Folks, there is bathrooms right here if you want to use them. Other than that, please follow me into the tasting room and we can start. What is it? Speak on it, you guys.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Be invited in, Blake.
Be invited.
This is all the High West.
No, it's not.
There's more. I've been told there's more.
Alright, we'll send a couple people into the bathroom.
Okay. We'll get some pours and then I'll come back to you. We're in the tasting room and there's a menu. I'm gonna pick what I want and then try them. Here's the menu. Let me show you guys.
It's not the craziest.
You can try all these if you want. There's a price there. You get a little pour of each. And then the archive, believe it or not, it's a 12, 4, 16, and a 21. I had no idea they aged out that far. I'm gonna go with the barrel select. So I'll come back and I'll record that and give you guys my feedback. Okay, here's the flight I chose. Barrel select. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna try those and hang out. That kind of concludes the video. You can see again, everybody's just hanging out and drinking. And yeah, so that's High West. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks. What's up, everybody? I hope you guys enjoyed that tour. I know it's always fun for me going through that tour. That's the second time I've done it, and it's always a good time. If you do decide to go visit that distillery in High West, go do the deep dive tour. That way you can go in their tasting rooms and try all their bourbons and whiskeys that they've ever made and ryes. And it's a good time. It's worth it. It's worth the money. I highly recommend it. Okay, with that being said, I was lucky enough to go up there when they just released this bottle, and this is High West's Bottle and Bond. So let me give you a little read down of it. This is obviously a 4-year minimum at 100 proof, and it says here, abundant and unadulterated. Interesting. It opens with robust notes of dried cherry, cinnamon, mint, and toasted oak. Then broadens into bold palette of red currant. I think I'm saying that right. Honey cereal grains, nutmeg, and ginger. So it's got a lot going on there. I just got it because they only released it there at the distillery. It's not like available broadly. I don't know if they will. So I had to get it. I figured why not? It wasn't that expensive. But with that being said, High West for me has always been a back and forth thing. And for me, I don't love them, but I don't hate them either. They're real middle for me. Just because their stuff is usually pretty young. All of it's generally like blended, which is, there's no problem with that. But it's always very hot, regardless of the proof where they land with it. It just burns. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe just because it's young and they don't let their stuff age longer. It's always been my biggest gripe. They have great mashes. I think they're on to something here. A lot of people do like them, but for me, it's always been like the heavy burn, regardless of what proof they sit in. I've learned recently with them, just you have to let it sit and open for quite a while, not just like pour and walk away for 5 minutes, like 10-15 minutes. You really got to let this like settle and open, and that usually tends to help, and the flavors start to show up, and it just doesn't burn the whole time. So with that being said, I'm going to try this out, give you my review. I know I'm talking way too much here. So let's start with the Glencairn here. Remember, I always feel you should give every bourbon 2 pours, one with and one without ice. So not bad. Just a lot of burn. To be honest, I'm not really like grabbing much of those notes besides maybe the cinnamon. Um, a little later, the cherry does show up, the dry cherry in the back there, but I mean, right off the bat, like normally, it just uh, atomic bomb in your mouth. So let's try it with the ice. Um, yeah, ice doesn't really help either. There's not much to it. I kind of feel like it doesn't even help with the burn. Um, so yeah, I do get the cherry. It does show up. That one does show up quite a bit, which is nice. It's nice, but it shows up later down in the back of the throat there. So with that being said, we'll do the bourbon and bitchin', and I'm redoing this again because the last one for some people was just as confusing. So the bourbon, I'm gonna keep it simple, 1 through 5. 5 being the best, like overall bottle taste, presentation. So everything in general, like we'll just focus on the taste for right now. I would give it a 2. At this point, this is kind of like a collector thing for me. I have quite a bit of High West, and it's just kind of a collector's item now. Um, I wouldn't, if once I run out of this, I wouldn't run and buy another one. It's definitely something try before you buy. I wouldn't just go get it because it's the new thing that they came out with. I would try it first. So I give the overall like a 2. As far as presentation and everything is great. They've always done really well with their labeling, their branding, their bottle. You know you have a High West bottle. Always been a fan of that, and I give that a solid 5 out of 5 for that. So, and then the bitchin', um, one would be, uh, let's see, let's try to redo this. One would be, I wouldn't recommend it. No, let's see. Anyway, I wouldn't recommend this. So I give this a 1 out of 5, meaning 1 would be not recommended, and 5 I would recommend it. So 1, I wouldn't recommend this to anybody who's starting off in the bourbon world. Um, it's unfortunate. I think they're onto something though. I'm not hating on it. I know this takes a lot of hard work, but they have fantastic other brand bottles they put out. They have a castrate one, which is phenomenal, which I wish they would head in that direction more with however they did that one. Their Midwinter's Night Dram is always usually pretty good, depending on who you talk to. I've always been a big fan of it. But they also have made a long time ago, a 12-year, a 14-year, I think a 16-year, and a 21-year, which I was able to try during the tour at the tasting. That's why I highly recommend you go there. And those were phenomenal. I don't understand why they don't head in that direction. I know it's a big risk for them and a lot of companies just in hopes that you let it sit that long and you get something worthwhile. Totally understandable. But they have something there, and I asked them, the tour guide a couple times, like, why not? Why don't you guys shoot for these? These are great, man. The flavors are great. The burn is very minimal, and from what I was told, they just don't want to be known as bottles that have staple years on them. I think that's how he said it. They generally want to be known as a brand that blends and continues to blend. Almost feel like a step brother to MGP. Uh, I believe that's how you say it, MGP. Yeah, MGP. But yeah, they have the recipes. I'm sure it's sitting around somewhere how they did it. But in any case, I'm talking way too much. It's just I High West has it. I feel like if they would just let it sit longer than 4 years, a minimum of 6 with their stuff, I they're onto something. It's not horrible, but you can tell it's just young, and and they have aged stuff. They've done it, and I wish they would go back and do it and try it and give it a good shot. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Thanks.